This is TechCrunch.
The internet trend is simple. A friend or family member looks into the camera and tells viewers, in a slightly aggressive tone, that they are about to witness a presentation and that they better be nice. That's what Kendall, the sister of Lucius McDaniel IV, did, and after she stepped aside, her brother pitched his company, BiteSite, a food delivery app that lets users watch videos of food before ordering. It also lets customers see what their friends have ordered and bookmark places to try out. The app plays on how young people engage with content through short-form videos and recommendations from friends. McDaniel posted the video and went back to work. 15 minutes later, his sister texted him that their post was going viral. "We were at 20,000 views in 15 minutes, McDaniel told TechCrunch. Excitement came, but then chaos ensued as, quote, parts of our app started to break as we got more users, unquote. The engineering team worked around the clock to keep BiteSite functional, while McDaniel took to making TikToks about the chaos, which ended up going viral too. He said people loved the authenticity behind seeing what happens when your app explodes overnight. The video of McDaniel presenting this idea has since amassed almost 4 million likes on TikTok and 250,000 on Instagram, joining a trend of young entrepreneurs using TikTok and Instagram Reels to gain traction and deal flow. McDaniel told TechCrunch that the idea to make this video came after watching a friend partake in the same internet trend for his dating app. It got over 1 million views, and he suggested I try it for BiteSite. 24-year-old McDaniel said he, like many young people, realized he was eating too much takeout, ordering from the same 3 places because he couldn't discover new restaurants on delivery apps. I'd hit this wall of identical-looking restaurants with stock photos, and somehow every place had 4.6 stars. He started keeping a spreadsheet of restaurants he'd found on Instagram and TikTok, tracking actual reviews and seeing what his friends thought about said places. When I realized other people were doing the exact same thing, my co-founder Zach and I decided to build something better, an app that actually reflects how we discover food today, he said, referring to Zach Schulwolf, the company's CTO. McDaniel is no stranger to the tech industry. He previously worked at General Atlantic, where one of his main focus areas was restaurant technology. He previously founded a payments company called Fly, spelled P-H-L-Y, led product for a recruitment software, and has even angel invested in a few companies, including the fintech Mercury. He and Schulwolf, 25, spent over a year building BiteSite, including participation in Y Combinator's Winter 2024 cohort. They then did a limited beta around New York University in April. In mid-May, the company launched an early version and did a bit of social media marketing. In June, they made their viral video. What made our video stand out was that what we are building resonates, said McDaniel, who is BiteSite's CEO, also known as Chief Eating Officer. He added that it's clear that consumers, and especially Gen Z, are ready for something that feels fresh and built for the way they engage. After the video, BiteSite briefly became number 2 in the App Store's food and beverage category, bypassing Uber Eats, Starbucks, and even McDonald's. McDaniel said the app also gained more than 100,000 new users, and though it is only available in New York at the moment, people in other cities started messaging for a nationwide release. On the restaurant side, McDaniel said everyone from small family-owned spots to chain restaurants has reached out to partner and, of course, quote, we've had a surge of investor interest from folks who see that this is where food delivery is going, unquote. He declined to comment on the size of any upcoming funding deals, except to say he expects to have news to share soon. Of course, BiteSite has a lot of big, well-funded competition like DoorDash and Uber Eats. McDaniel believes, however, that being a startup in the age of AI will be to his advantage. For example, while most of its competitors needed hundreds of engineers in their early days, BiteSite can work with AI tools that perform 10x the work of a human for much less the cost. By using AI to avoid massive overhead and infrastructure costs, we can do much more with much less and pass on the savings to the small business owners and customers who need it most while still maintaining healthy margins, he said. What also differentiates BiteSite is its focus on food and video, rather than other categories at the moment. We're trying to be the go-to app for the generation that discovers everything through social recommendations and short-form video. Lauren Kolodny, a partner at Acrew Capital, has always championed technology's power to democratize access to financial services for everyday people. When the fledgling neobank Chime struggled to convince investors in 2016 that it could build a large business serving the working class, Kolodny was the only VC out of 100 Chime pitched to agree to back the company, stepping in with a $9 million Series A extension when it was nearly out of money. That bet paid off big time. Last month, Chime went public at a $14.5 billion valuation. Kolodny, who appeared on the forum's Midas list 3 years in a row, is still passionate about investing in tech solutions that help consumers maximize their resources. She recently led a $20 million Series A investment in Alix, a startup that leverages AI to automate the estate settlement process. Alix's founder, Alexandra Mysore, realized the burden of executing a family estate after she offered to help her best friend settle her late mother's affairs. Mysore told TechCrunch that it took her 900 hours and 18 months to complete tasks such as calling the bank to transfer assets, locating all the 401ks, canceling accounts, and distributing assets among family members. "I was shocked that this process was so hard," Mysore said. "It's paper-driven, it's archaic. You're Googling to-do lists that are not helpful. You're calling attorneys who might do a sliver of the work, and they cost thousands and thousands of dollars." That experience gave Mysore the idea that some of the most labor-intensive aspects of trust administration, including scanning and extracting data from documents, pre-populating complex forms, and communications with banks, can now be handled by AI agents. When Kolodny met Mysore and learned about the problem Alix was addressing, the issue resonated so deeply with the Midas list investor that she couldn't get it out of her mind. Kolodny realized that even though economists are estimating that trillions of dollars will transfer to millennial and Gen Z generations over the next 2 decades, the paperwork surrounding estate settlement largely remains a burden on those grieving the loss of their parents. While some startups like Empathy provide assistance with closing accounts as part of their bereavement support, Kolodny discovered that no companies offered comprehensive start-to-finish estate settlement services. How is it possible that there's this messy problem that involves so much project management that there aren't even meaningful services around? Kolodny told TechCrunch. "It was this real aha moment for me. This is exactly the kind of problem that AI should be solving." Kolodny said that she believes Alix is among the first of many startups powered by AI that will democratize financial services and administrative processes, which were historically available only to the ultra-wealthy. Alix's fee structure is 1% of an estate's value. However, for inheritances under $1 million, customers can expect to pay between $9,000 and $12,000, with the exact cost determined by the complexity of the estate. That's all for now. For more stories like this one, visit TechCrunch.com.